Good day everyone. Today we are here to discuss about physics. What is physics? Now most of the students think about physics that it is a very difficult subject. But to be very honest with you, this is just a mere myth. Why? Because physics is all about the study of laws of nature. Right? We need to just think about it, how the things happen, how the laws of nature performs its all work within our surroundings. Right? So once it was said that the incomprehensible things of the universe they are highly comprehensible. Now why it was said? It was said by one of the greatest scientists, Albert Einstein. I have quoted, the most incomprehensible thing about the universe is they are highly comprehensible. Now why they are highly comprehensible? Because if you are able to understand the laws of nature in the way it is, then it will become highly comprehensible for you. But if you are not able to identify them, if you are not able to visualize them, then it will be the most incomprehensible thing for you. Right? Now the same thing lies for physics. But I am telling you, my friend, if you understand physics the way it is, I am telling you this is the easiest subject in this universe. Why I am saying this? Because yes, personally I have applied it and I have got tremendous success on it. Now basically, the introduction to physics is the study of laws of nature. Now what is law of nature? Now in nature we see a lot of things happening in our surroundings everywhere. Now on moving top from the ground level, there are planetary motion, there are planetary bodies, there are celestial objects. Every moment something is happening in the cosmos. Those all events are based on certain laws. Are you getting? Now to study about those phenomena which are occurring in the cosmos, in the space, that is known as astronomy. So are they all related? If we see something which are in the space and if we see something which are near our surroundings, is there common law? Yes, it is. Now earlier, 2000 years back, people used to think that heavenly bodies work on a different principle, or we can say that laws governing the celestial objects and planetary objects are different than what do we see in our present atmosphere or what do we see in our surroundings. But later, when people started going into the depth, they realized that yes, there is a common law. Yes, it is. Now the beauty of physics is that if you are thinking something in a right way, and if your visualization and imagination are absolutely right, so somebody sitting in other country also, right, will have the same conclusion. Now this particular conclusion or the matching of conclusion don't have any other reality in any other subjects. Right? So therefore I call that the beauty of physics is in your real imagination and visualization. If you are able to visualize and imagine the things in its natural and original way, the job is done. Now, to understand physics, first of all, we need to understand what is nature and what do we see in nature. So, generally, there are two kinds of things that we see in our nature. Now, something is in rest and something is in motion. Right? Now, this is the building block of physics. If you are able to understand this thing in a correct way, 50% of the concept will be clear, absolutely clear. Right? So let's start the building blocks of physics. Motion. When we call something in motion and when we call something at rest. Now the concept is very clear. We need to understand. Let's suppose if any object is here, right? At time t is equal to 0. Now t is equal to 0 is that time from where you have a start measurement, correct? Now as time passes means t is equal to t. Means after some time when you have started visualizing the object, has it changed its position with respect to time? Now you need to understand. The answer is yes or no. Now if you see the tip of my finger, it hasn't changed its position from time t is equal to 0 to time t is equal to t. Means there is no any change in position of my fingertip. Correct? So now in other word, we can say that this body is at rest. Is the point clear? If it is clear, now let's look at the other phase. Now let's suppose again we have started measuring the movement of this body. If the position of this body changes with respect to time, what shall we say? We will conclude that the position of the body changes with respect to time. It means this body is in motion. Clear? Okay, let's discuss it once again. Let's suppose this is the time from where we have started calculating the movement or observing the movement of this particular body. Now time t is equal to 0. Yes. Now what we observe that the body changes its position with respect to time. Right? And that is the real concept of motion. So the definition comes if a body changes its position with respect to time, then the body is in motion. But on the other hand, if the body doesn't change its position with respect to time, then the body is called at rest. Now tell me this point is clear or not. Now if you have understood motion and rest, so I am telling you my friends, the 50% job has been done in physics. Right? Now most of the students, they have confusion that when we call something as rest and when we call something in motion. Why? Because the concept is not clear. But if you are able to understand this, then your most of the doubts will be completely cleared. Right? Now, when we talk about introduction to physics, so physics and mathematics, they both go hand in hand. Right? Means you can't separate mathematics from physics. Why? Because when we have to study about the laws of nature, so They are based on certain principles. Now, to derive that law, it has to be expressed mathematically, right? So that's the reason you can't separate mathematics from physics. Now, what sort of mathematics we are going to use to present the laws of physics? For example, let's suppose there are two particles, right? Now concentrate on the tips of my fingers. Now there may be some force of attraction in between them, right? Is the point clear? Now to define that law, to define that force of attraction in between two particles in the space, we need to define the force. And that force is mathematically expressed, right? So with the help of integral calculus, we can express that formulation. Is the point clear? So we will study some basic mathematical principles, some mathematical formulas that play a major role in understanding the building blocks of physics. Right? So today what we have studied is, first of all, what is physics? So that the concept must be clear. Physics is basically the study of laws of nature, in our surroundings, whether the surrounding is something that we see, and something about the planetary bodies, the heavenly bodies. All those objects, their movement, if they are at rest, they are not at rest, all the things are based on certain fixed laws. Right? And in physics, we study just the basis of those laws. That's the beauty of physics. Now, next, what we studied? We studied about motion and rest. Now, motion is something when the position of any body changes with respect to time, and rest when the position of any body doesn't change with respect to time. Finish. Now, in our next lecture, we will discuss about what is displacement and distance, and further, what is acceleration. What's the difference between speed and velocity? Till then, thank you.